So hello children. So here I am again with how do organism reproduce. This is for the students of class 10. Okay. Already in my previous class I have taught sexual reproduction in flowering plants. So today we are going to take up what children? We are going to take up, this is actually part 3. This is part 3. So before going into it, let me introduce myself. Myself Kakolisa from DAV Public School, CCL Giririh. So here we are children without wasting much time. Today we will move to the human reproductive system. Okay, so let us start with the male reproductive system. In class 10, you just have to know the basics about this, the male reproductive system and the female reproductive system. Okay, you need not, the contents given in NCERT is not means covering the entire aspect that you are going to study in class 12. So whatever is there, we need to deal with it. Okay, so let us start with the male reproductive system. So here there are two diagrams. So let us start with the male reproductive system. Children, you see, the male reproductive system consists of a pair of testes. What does it consist? It consists of a pair. We are going to know. Now see about the primary sexual characters and secondary sexual characters. Primary sexual characters means the characters which are there from the birth beta. What happens when a child is born? Okay, at that time everyone comes to know whether it is a boy or a girl. How? By seeing the sex organ of the child, we come to realize whether it is a boy or a girl. So in the same way, the most important part in the male reproductive system is the testis. What it is, you see over here, it is written testis. Okay, so what it is testis. And how many? A pair of testes. How many testes are there, beta? A pair of testes. Next thing you need to know is that the testis is enclosed in a structure. You see, this is the testis. Okay, pair of testes, and it is enclosed in a structure which is written as scrotum sac. What it is known as scrotum. Scrotum, I hope what I am writing you are able to see. The testis is enclosed in a sac-like structure, bag-like structure. Sac, you know, bag-like structure, and that is known as scrotum sac. And what is the function of scrotum sac? That it acts as thermoregulator. What does it act as? It acts as thermoregulator. So, what is thermoregulator? Listen to me carefully, children. Now you see this testis along with the scrotum sac. It is situated outside the abdominal cavity. Means not inside the abdomen or not inside the body cavity. It is situated outside the body cavity. So there must be a reason for it. Na? And testes are very delicate organ. There is a fact, known fact, that the sperm, and what is the function of testes, children? They produce the male gametes, that is the sperm, and the male hormone testosterone. So what is the function of testes, children? What is the function? They are responsible for the formation of sperm, that is the male gamete. What is the male gamete in the human male reproductive system? It is the sperm. Now, what happens at the time of production of sperm in the testis? What actually, sperm needs a temperature 1 to 2 in some or degree Celsius, or in some books it is written 2 to 2.5. In some books it is 2 to 3 degrees Celsius. So, it needs a body temperature, imagine 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius lower than the body temperature, at the time of production of sperm. Listen carefully. At the time of production of sperm, okay, it needs a temperature. The sperm at the time of its production, it needs a temperature lower than the body temperature. Okay, during the time of production of sperm. And what does this scrotum sac do? Other than protection, it is acting as thermoregulator, means it is providing the required temperature to the testis for the production of sperm, Did you all get it? Hope you all have got it. Now it is after its production, it will of course move inside the body cavity. It will travel all the way to the abdomen, but then it can tolerate the body temperature. Only at the time, the exceptional cases, only at the time of production of sperm. So this is clear, I hope. So this scrotum sac acts as thermoregulator. So I'm just removing this part because I need to write the rest of the things. Now you see here, from the testis, you see the tube-like structure coming out and moving all the way to the abdomen. That is known as vas deferens. Children, it is not only the duct which is responsible for carrying the sperm. There are certain structures, reti testis, then epididymis, vas efferentia, then epididymis, then comes the vas deferens. But since it is not there in your book, we are not going to deal with it. We are directly going to write now. In class 10, you just remember the sperm after its production, it is going to be carried by vas deferens, where it will, what it will know you do, it will enter your abdomen. Then all the way, means it is carrying the sperm, children. What it is doing, it is carrying the sperm. And then what you see, this is, it will of course make its way all through the urinary bladder, means it will reach that part where the urinary bladder is situated. And what you will see, that from the urinary bladder, this is the urinary bladder and this is the outlet of the urinary bladder. Okay, you have seen in the human excretory system the kidney, ureter, urinary bladder, urethra. Then what you see, this vas deferens, what it is, opening, it is meeting the opening of the urinary bladder also, and that common passage is known as urethra. What it is known as? Urethra, children. So it's very necessary to understand the sperm is carried all the way by the vas deferens. Okay, and it, where you can see that it, of course, it can move this way also. It has been shown over here. The main purpose is that the urinary bladder, the duct from where the urine is to be discharged, and this vas deferens, they are meeting at a point, and that is a common duct that is known as urethra. So you know, in male, the passage, common passage for discharge of urine and sperm as well as sperm is the urethra, So what? In between, you will see, you can see, children, over here, there is a gland-like structure. Okay, the vas deferens, you see here a gland-like structure that is known as seminal vesicle. Then in the other part, you see there is another gland that is known as prostrate gland. All of them, what is the function? They are not functionless, they are functional. And what is their function, you know? This, the secretions of seminal vesicle and prostrate gland. Okay, they give out certain secretion. And what is the function of the secretion? First function is they give nourishment to the sperm. They provide nourishment to whom? To the sperm. And what is the second important function, children? They provide a medium for their transport. They provide a medium for the transport of sperm. For the transport of sperm. So these are the two important functions. Now you have seen the structure of sperm in class 8. Haven't you all seen? It is having a head, a neck, middle piece and the tail. You have seen in the middle piece there were so many mitochondria. Why? You can see the sperm after its production has to move all the way, such a long distance it has to cover. It needs food, na beta, and mitochondria gives it the required energy. If it doesn't get nutrition, then how will energy be produced? Isn't it very obvious? As well as it needs, the sperm is having a tail. It needs a medium for traveling, and the secretions of prostate gland and seminal vesicle perform both the functions. That is, they give nourishment to the sperm as well as they provide medium for the transport of sperm, and ultimately through the urethra it is being ejaculated out of the body. And this urethra, where you will find a structure, that is the penis in the male reproductive system, where you will find enclosing the urethra, and penis is the structure which makes us determine whether the child is a boy or a girl. So this was all about the male reproductive system. Only this much is given in your book, children, and I hope you all have understood. Now again, let us start with the female reproductive system. That is also very easy. Just listen to me carefully. Female reproductive system. You see in class 8, just this is what you have studied in class 8. You know the basic structure. Simply certain details are to be discussed in class 8 and nothing else, children. Okay, now see, this is the female reproductive structure. The female reproductive structure is having, you see the fallopian tube. Can you see the fallopian tube shown over here? This is the muscular structure, the uterus, the most important organ, 2 ovaries. Of course, it is there in the abdominal cavity. You can see the 2 ovaries where the eggs are produced. Then you see cervix and ultimately the vagina. This is all about the structures of female reproductive system, which is being discussed in the NCERT book. And please, children, again I am repeating, follow the NCERT book. Okay. Now you see, children, what is there? You saw the sperms are produced in testes. So what the ovaries, of course, so the main reproductive structures or part of the female reproductive system, and these ovaries produce the eggs. What do they produce? They produce the eggs or the ovum or egg or ovum, whatever you say, or ovum. Okay. And we know, you need not go into the detail, that in a month only one egg matures and it is being given out by the ovary. The process of discharge of eggs from the ovary is known as ovulation. What it is known as? Ovulation. Always remember, in a month, usually only one egg. Now what happens? This fallopian tube, it has certain finger-like projections. They are known as fimbriae, which traps the egg and pulls it inside and takes it where? To a place. There are certain places in the fallopian tube you need not learn, so I am not discussing. Fimbriae, isthmus, ampulla, all this, these are the parts of fallopian tube, but you need not know about it. In the fallopian tube, what will happen, children? The eggs will reach. Okay, in a month only one egg released. Okay, now what happens? The sperm, if the male and the female partner, they meet, there is copulation, then what will happen? The sperms will be discharged over here and they will move through this part, and the sperms will, where the sperms will ultimately, you will see the sperms is going to meet the egg. If the egg, it's not that, the egg is also having a certain time period during which it can remain viable or have the capability to get fertilized, okay, within some hours. And if the sperm is released within that hour, you will see several sperms, children, not only one sperm, you will see several sperms coming, okay. One of the sperm, what it will do, it will fuse with the egg, and detailed mechanism not to be discussed in 12. I have already uploaded the video how this happens. So one of the sperm will fuse with the egg. So what it will form? The egg, if it meets the sperm, children, then what will be formed? Zygote. What will be formed? Zygote. Is it clear? And this process is known as fertilization. What is known as fertilization? Is it clear? So now suppose there is fusion and now there has been formation of zygote. There is formation of zygote. The zygote will keep on dividing, okay? 2 cells, 4 cells, 8, 16, then 32, so many on, and that 32 cell stage, what it will do, it will come to the uterus and it will try to fix itself in the uterus. Why? Uterus is a muscular structure capable of enclosing that growing embryo. And what else? The uterus, the inner lining of the uterus is richly supplied with blood vessels, which will give the required conditions or to the growing embryo or the fetus. So it will get this, what happens, this layer, inner layer of the uterus is richly supplied with blood vessels. It will form a network around this, and this process is known as implantation. What it is known as? Implantation. And there will be formation of structure. Gradually you will see after 3 months there will be formation of different organs, and the fetus, means the embryo will be getting converted into the fetus exactly after 3 or 2 months. So what you will see over here now, there will be a development of special tissue which will be a connection between the mother and the fetus, and this special tissue is known as placenta, which provides food exchange. It is responsible for the exchange of food materials between the mother and the fetus, exchange of respiratory gases, exchange of excretory products takes place through that special tissue that is known as placenta. What it is known as? Placenta. This is if fertilization occurs. If the egg does not get the sperm, then what will happen, children? This endometrial lining, blood vessel lining of the uterus will break down because of hormonal regulation, and there will be occurrence of menstrual cycle. There will be occurrence of menstrual cycle. So with this I would like to wind up. Okay, just go through the structural details of all these things and what happens. This gestation period for the development of the fetus is 9 months. After 9 months, there again will be certain hormonal regulations, certain hormones released, which will bring about the contraction of the uterus, and ultimately you see the release of the fetus through the cervix and through the vagina. It will be coming out, and so this is known as the birth canal. What is known as birth canal? So with this, children, I would like to wind up today. Stay blessed and stay indoors, children. It is high time, risk time. Please do not go out, and all the best.